Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to Beating the Press podcast. I am your host, Rafa. Joining me today to preview two tantalizing matches coming up on the weekend, we have returning to studios, Supah Size.
Uh, no, glad to be back. You know, had to back in demand. Back by demand.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You were, in fact, missing from those bold predictions you made with that Liverpool Bournemouth game. I mean, since you're here now, what's your reflection on that match?
Well, the hot and cold pool just turned up on the day, and the colder side just turned out. Liverpool was the colder side. I just think Salah just didn't score that penalty, so the game didn't turn. If the game did turn, I think the scoreline would have happened easily with that Nunez got put up front. Yeah, good front three. However, I think it was just I don't know, Klopp has something going on in the dressing room. I don't know. Something is wrong. You can't score 7, can't score what?
Well,
Something right.
it's the nature of football. It's the nature of the EPL, you know. But we're here on a different matter this evening, viewers and subscribers. We're going to be previewing the two big matches taking place on the weekend. It's a condensed weekend with some FA Cup matches, but the EPL is still on in earnest. On Saturday, Chelsea will take on Everton. And then on Sunday, the league leaders, Arsenal, will tackle Crystal Palace at the Emirates. Supah Size, talk to us. We're going to start by looking at the Chelsea-Everton game. What's your take on these two teams coming into this fixture?
All right, Chelsea and Everton. Two sides. It's kind of a two clubs in two different moments. Chelsea trying to get back into the real rhythm for the last 15 or last 10 games. That's where you can really make a push into the top four, right? Everton now, new coach, everything. So the Foxes are going to play with some anger. I think they have a point to prove, especially against a Chelsea like this. And two youthful sides to be exact, and even more youthful with the addition of Whisper. So Chelsea, again, the youthful exuberance is now really being tested in these next matches, I think. Because you can get a lot of these balls. Kovacic has now stepped up in the club. So I think the natural fruition of that club is now coming to fruit. Potter, I think he's took it out. It's hard to when you're getting so much new youth. You know what I mean? Young youths, untamed. So now they are finding some rhythm with Enzo in the middle also, you know?
Yes, definitely. Chelsea definitely have been getting a few good results of late and coming into their own. Everton, on the other hand, you know, they're definitely in the relegation fight. And since they made that coaching change, they definitely have stepped up in terms of getting some very positive results. And game by game, you can definitely see the characteristics of their coach, Sean Dyche, really rubbing off on the team, you know. Right now, they're a very defensively solid unit, very hard to break down. And they have been pinching a few goals here or there, giving them some good positive results, picking up 3 points with, you know, the various 1-0 scorelines. So both teams are, as you say, are at different places. Chelsea have been getting a few good results also. And as you say, the team seem to be gelling. You know, the tactics of Potter seem to be coming to the fore. Players are now understanding their role, and you can definitely see a best 11 emerging. So Saturday should definitely be an intriguing game. You know, Everton coming into this one, definitely looking for points to escape the relegation zone. And of course, Chelsea pushing still for a top 4 finish. But in terms of tactics, Supah Size, how do you see both teams lining up?
All right, the thing now we always got to remember, you know, Chelsea is 29 years since Everton has never won at there's 29 years since Everton has won
Stanford
Stanford
Bridge.
Bridge. Yes, so things like that, you know, I think does play into certain matches, especially one like this, the Clash of the Blues, the Foxes, and the Men from the Bridge. But however, this one, I just think, based on the last form, I think Potter was out the side that he thinks is the best side right now. I'm seeing more of where Havertz is more of a ball carrier, which I think is a better thing than a passer. Havertz has never been acclaimed for his passing, so I don't know why they. No, facts, facts. Everton, no. What I like about this side, Gray and they're youthful. I don't know. I think will he be back for this match? I know I picked up
Who is
some
that?
Gray.
Yes, he should be back.
No?
He took over the striking role. Calvert-Lewin has been a long-term injury absentee. A few other faces were tried up top, but with little to no success early on in Sean Dyche's reign. And since then, he has been deploying Gray as that number 9, even though Gray comes in more as a winger type player. But he has been holding his own, in terms of leading the line. But to me, the strength of Everton really lies in the midfield. Those three
Yes.
hard-working midfielders, Dakore, Onana, and Guy, that's where the Chelsea strength lies. So it should be a very interesting matchup with Enzo, Kovacic, and possibly a Loftus-Cheek.
Chilwell. All right, Chilwell can be thrown in there if needs be. I like your touch on Everton. I see a lot of these. Everton is what I call right now next year a side to watch. If they make it up, that midfield right there is what you call dirt midfield. I like the midfield, rough. Two sides of them can play it. So it will be interesting next year to see if they can stop that real Onana, Gayan, and the core. I really want to see them next year playing on that relief that you're up. Because that is the thing, over time when you're playing in the league, you're gonna start. Your game will have to be impacted by the situation that you're in. So I think when you start, a lot of these so-called teams going to be very impactful. As you know, Gayan was an ex-PSG player. You get what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, experience is definitely there. As I said, it's really a robust, hard tackling, hard running midfield tree. So I'm thinking Everton should be very difficult to break down. I mean, of late, Chelsea have found a few goals, but the goals haven't been free flowing. So getting a result over this Everton team, they will definitely have to aim to dominate that midfield. And that is going to be no easy task. But in terms of results, Supah Size, how do you see this one playing out? Can Chelsea pull out a win? What's your score prediction?
Okay. The thing with it, when you have a lot of youth, you don't know what you're going to get on the day. But however, based on the last result, I think it's a close game. Everton, I think what's going to be the linchpin, Cucurella. People are not understanding. I think he's one of the top 5 left backs in England. Non-stop running, two side of the ball. So when you go against, I don't know who is right key, who is that left back for Everton, or who is the wing back. You're going to have a day. Cucurella is going to be the X factor, the difference maker. So I'm going for a win for Chelsea. I won't say any score. I'm just going for a win for Chelsea 2-1. Going safe on the bench. I won't go emphatic today.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned Cucurella because of late, Potter has been playing him in a tree at the back there. He has been playing as a left-sided centre-back. And Chilwell has been taking over the left wing-back role. So I'm looking to see if that continues for this game, as well as possibly the return of Reece James. He missed the last game due to injury as well. So he could possibly return, and you have those two wing backs, those two Englishmen Reece James on the right, Chilwell on the left. They have been devastating when in peak form. So I'm looking to see if we'll see them at their full potential come match day. But for me, as you mentioned, it should be a close game. And I'm gonna sit on the fence for this one. I'm thinking it's gonna be a scoring draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I just believe Everton is going through a resurgent period right now. So too Chelsea. And I just feel that while Chelsea will dominate the ball, I feel Everton will display enough grit, enough fight, enough mental strength, and get something from the bridge. But that being said, on Sunday, we do have another big one taking place, one which could potentially decide the title. We have Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. And of course, with Man City not being in action, the possibility exists for Arsenal to go 8 points clear. But Supah Size, talk to us about this one. How do you see both teams entering into this game?
So this Arsenal, no, I don't like how you're framing these doesn't work. You've been sitting on the fence and recently a lot. It's a very strong fence. Okay. All right. Arsenal. The
League
champions of the
leaders,
23.
League
No,
leaders
yeah,
currently.
man. Yeah. All right, let me show you a thing now. What I think is going to happen now? This Europa League match, good and bad. Can it have a severe effect on the game? Because that would have been the dream to win 2 titles, and that would be a good thing for the youngsters of the Arsenal. But this game, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is a puncher, Move the ball up front very fast. Midfield quick in terms of releasing those pace up front, harders up front. So Arsenal, yes, so it's going to be a good match. Put it that way. What I think.
Yes, you do raise a very interesting point there. Arsenal was in action today in the Europa League, playing against Real Betis, I believe. And in fact, that game
Sporting.
ended. Yeah, sorry about that. Sporting Lisbon, right? That game ended in a draw, extra time, penalty shootout. Arsenal ended up losing the penalty shootout. So we also saw where a few key players got injured as well. Saliba was hauled off injured. So to Tamiaso. So the depth in the Arsenal squad will definitely come under severe test. As well, you mentioned, it was a physically demanding game as well. So who to tell? Players may be fatigued going into that game on Saturday. So the depth of Arsenal squad, as well as their mental toughness, will definitely be tested by Crystal Palace come Sunday. But it should be a very interesting match. Arsenal league leaders getting a chance to go 8 points clear on Manchester City. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, the goals, the points have dried up for Crystal Palace, and they are now being drawn into a relegation battle. Vieira, their coach, is really having a tough time getting the team playing free-flowing football, scoring goals and getting results. His job right now seems to be under tremendous pressure, and he will definitely be aiming for a win, or at least to take something away from the Emirates come Sunday. But in terms of tactics, Supah Size, how do you see both teams entering this game from a tactical point of view, from a team selection point of view? Do you see any changes playing out?
All right. Arsenal. The last time I was on the podcast, I mentioned the depth, aspect of the depth, right?
That is right.
Yeah, Saliba.
You did say Arsenal lack true depth. A very profound statement there,
No, anybody with two eyes, we know. You saw it too, but maybe it wasn't that because of you know.
Indeed, indeed.
But let me ask you this though. Saliba, would Saliba be really missed fan City?
Oh, yes, definitely. He has been a linchpin in the Arsenal defense.
Yes, but
Saliba with his
Saliba is
partnership
not
with
a
Gabriel. If he
yes,
can't
but
make it for Sunday, it's definitely going to create a decision for Arteta right there and could potentially weaken that Arsenal defense, which has been so airtight since the start of the season. So disrupting that partnership may very well have a detrimental impact on the squad going forward. City
well,
will begin to smell blood if they can't pull out a result come Sunday.
okay. We're under, or maybe a person that I say something about in the full depth of it. Saliba is good, but let's not put high praises because you're on top. They're on top of the table. So Saliba is not really a defender of that. The leaky defense. Arsenal defense has not been any defense that is displaying of a champion esque. So to say Saliba, yeah, yes, he will be missed. For what Arsenal have, he will be missed. They don't have any depth. Who is Saliba? Like in a real, she could take out Ake and put in somebody else. Laporte. Arsenal has nobody. So maybe this could be the turn for Crystal Palace.
It's possible. I mean, the ball is round, and as I said, go playing full 90 plus extra time plus penalty shootout. The physios will have their work cut out to get this team back up and running. A lot of players like Saka have been playing a lot of minutes. I believe he was rested for this Europa League game, but fatigue seemed to be kicking in. As you mentioned, because of the lack of squad depth. Arteta has really been sticking to pretty much that same 11 with a few rotations here of there of late.
And
We
some lucky
see
subs.
Gabriel
And lucky subs.
Jesus, is now back or was back in action, returning from his injury. So that's definitely a positive for Arsenal going forward. But I'm definitely looking forward to hearing the injury report on Saliba. If it's a serious injury that's going to keep him out for a few games, then as I said, this could have a detrimental impact. It will definitely change the chemistry of the team and could possibly throw off their balance. Because not only has he been defending well, he have been popping up here or there as well with some offensive contribution, especially his presence when he comes on to corners and other set plays. So
Yes.
it's definitely going to be interesting to see if any further rotation takes place come Sunday. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, Zaha is back, their talisman. However, as mentioned earlier, the goals are not coming. The goal that is Crystal Palace main issue right now, scoring goals. They have been playing tight at the back, giving up a goal here, a goal there, but nothing which is really blowing the team away. But goals is what Crystal Palace need, and that has been in short supply. So it's gonna be an interesting game to see how it plays out come Sunday. Can they score? And if they score, can they hold off the might of Arsenal with the likes of Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Trossard? These guys have been in scintillating form. What say you? How do you see this one playing out?
It will be fireworks at the Emirates. Yeah. However, the thing is, yeah, it's hard to put Arsenal and Champions in the same line, but
you seem to have a vendetta against the league leaders.
no, I was
You seem to be throwing shade. It seems like you don't have any belief in their ability to lift the title.
no. Remember when I first came here, I've always been a proponent for Arsenal winning the league. However, this is the thing now. As I asked the question, they were answered. After get one of the oral, as I asked the question, they were answered. So this is the thing now. Saliba going in there. The thing is, I've never trust this backline from Arsenal. I've been more interested in the midfield up. never the defense. Great keeper. I think he does more of the defensive work than the four. So things like that. I won't be surprised if I see a 2-0 from Arsenal receiving 2-0 because it's a fragile side.
So are you saying
Arteta,
Crystal Palace will upset Arsenal?
Liverpool scored 7 and couldn't score 1 in the following fixture. So this is the EPL. There's a wide array of things that can happen. So I have to. This is not like the EPL. I'm sorry, not like the Italian league or the league ones that I'm usually. I'm getting really accustomed to. Guys, maybe some footballers that we think are quality aren't quality. Every week you should perform. So I don't think anybody that will be coming in for Saliba if he's injured can play this weekend.
Well,
Will be of less standard.
possibly a Rob Holding. Rob Holding did sub in for him
Weak,
today.
weak. That's why he holds. He's not a, no. Come on, really? In these times, you're at the top, holding. I mean, yo, you know what? You know what the thing happened to Arteta? He wanted to make a run out first and amass a lot of points and see where this. Because let's be honest, there's no depth. I don't see any depth. Tiramisu and Ben White. These people aren't really right back. Yeah, defense.
Some very controversial statement there. I mean, with the team having a 5-point lead at the top of the table. I mean, this is a complete contrast to how the team has been playing that you're bringing across. I mean, Arsenal has one of the better defenses in the league currently. I believe they may have the third best defense in terms of goal conceded.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We have to remember that some of let me explain something to you. Let me show you a thing that I realize with Arsenal. Arsenal games is dependent on key players having too much good games.
Interesting. But but it seemed like it's a case of wash, rinse, repeat. Week in, week out, they have been picking up all 3 points. So obviously the team is doing something well as the coach. Watch, rinse, repeat.
Don't be drawn into the score line. Don't be drawn into the score line. Over the weekend.
But they're top of the league. 5 points clear. Flying.
No, clean. I'm showing you something. You know what I've realized. Yes, it's a City, and City has brought this thing into the forefront of our where it's like the win, but it's how you win. I don't want. For example, PSG on the weekend. There was a car in Mendes, the best left back in the world, played about to Lionel Messi. What 3 passes? Cut open aside and M scored and turned the game. I do not see that from Arsenal. I don't see that decisiveness. I don't see that. Like when we get the ball, I go score. Soccer them is some vibes player. Them have to get the ball a couple times to give a touch. You get me?
All right. So officially now, let's get back on point. Officially now, what's your official prediction for this game against Crystal Palace?
2-1 Crystal Palace.
2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Zaha is back. Defensive weakness. Partly it's hard to play 120 minutes, then take a flight back. So when I talk about depth, it's not some good joke thing me I talk about. Me know me I talk.
No, but this game was at the Emirates, so there's no flight involved.
Well, yeah, there's a flight. Yeah, there was a flight. They're going to get Crystal Palace going to lift the Emirates. They'll take a flight. Watch what go on. Bold prediction.
Very bold, very controversial there from Supah Size. For me, I see nothing other than an Arsenal win, really. Crystal Palace is playing nowhere near the sort of quality football to really test this Arsenal squad, regardless of fatigue or injury. Arsenal is just going to have too much for Crystal Palace at this moment, Zaha is back, yes, but it's not the Zaha that has been tantalizing in the recent past, Yeah, Crystal Palace is really searching for a goal scorer and also searching for creativity, the likes of Eze, Olese, Ayi. They've just not been showing the goods.
Okay, let me pose something to you. Let me give you a transpose this for me. Liverpool played, I don't know how 4th place Manchester United and scored 7. They played the 20th, was it? And
Yes,
couldn't score
yes.
one, right?
Right, that's
So
right.
not because yes, so previous form for us. Let's be real. Before the 3-0, the 3-0 that I brilliantly called in the last podcast that I was on, the 3-0 expose for Arsenal. So I think I have the track record to call these things on Arsenal, the champions. So when I'm making this statement now, Arsenal, I want them to have this loss now. You know why? Shake up the boat right now. Right now.
Well, there you have it, viewers and subscribers. Controversial calls and comments there from Supah Size. You know, whenever he's on this podcast, it's always filled with excitement and controversy, you know. But viewers and subscribers, I'd just like to thank you for joining us. Supah Size, I'll also like to extend my thanks to you for coming on the podcast at short notice and really bringing a lot of interesting thoughts and opinions on this one, you know. Viewers and subscribers,
Yes.
we're just going to ask you to continue to share, like, and of course, hit that notification bell. And until next time, this is Rafa signing off.